Jade, owner and principal planner of Joyful Events by Jade, and this is The Cookie Table. This is a podcast all about love, marriage, relationships, and the wedding industry, wedding news. Perfect for anyone that is getting married, is married, a wedding vendor, or someone that just loves weddings. Grab your favorite cookie from the cookie table, pour yourself a glass of Chardonnay, and let's get into it. Thank you for joining in on The Cookie Table. I am Jade, owner and principal planner of Joyful Events by Jade. I do have a wonderful guest this week. She is about to come on. However, we actually have a quick follow-up from our last episode with Rachel Rowland. If you haven't seen it yet or listened to it yet, go listen to it. One of the things we talked about was officiants moving out of the way for that first kiss during the ceremony. I did get a message that an officiant wanted to weigh in slightly. I do have audio. This is Kristine with Unity by Kristine and the Pop-Up Pittsburgh Wedding Company. Take a listen.
Hi, Jade. This is Kristine with Unity by Kristine and the Pop-Up Pittsburgh Wedding Company. Just wanted to share with you what I do and what some of the challenges have been for me, because there have numerous times been challenges where I'm always afraid that I got stuck in the photo. When it comes to ceremony hoops and arches, wooden arches, the base of those items extend out in front and behind. So typically what I do is I don't stand directly under the hoop or the arch. I stand right in front of it, maybe in line with where the groomsmen might be. That way, when it's time for me to take a step to the left to get out of the photo, I don't have to come forward and make a left. I can just step over the base of the decor and get out of the way. The challenge comes when we're in tight spaces, and there's nothing you can do about that. But when there's decor on the floor, maybe there's drapes that are laying on the floor to cover the base, or it's just draping from the decor from covering the ceremony arch or hoop. When there's flowers on the floor, when there's candles on the floor and multiple candles on the floor, that's a big difficulty navigating. I like to have the groomsmen stand slightly in front of me, so when I do step to the left and maybe in heels while I'm stepping over the base of the arch or the hoop, the circle, I can just easily hide behind them. Also navigating at times the base of the microphone stand. And it's hard to leave the ceremony space before you announce them as Mr. and Mrs. when you don't have a lapel mic, because you do need to make that announcement into the microphone that's on the stand. So fortunately, thus far, I've never tripped or fallen, but I did have a tight space where as I was moving, I bumped into the ceremony arch because the groomsmen were very close and they didn't give me much room. And I get it. They're not thinking about the fact that I need to walk behind them, even though I may have told them that. It's really not in the forefront of their thought process. So those are just some of the challenges I wanted to share with you, knowing that I do my very best to get out of the way, but sometimes it can be hard, and we might get stuck in photos.
Thank you again for weighing in, Kristine. I really appreciate the message, appreciate the audio. Again, Kristine with Unity by Kristine and the Pop-Up Pittsburgh Wedding Company. So decorations could be a little bit of an issue. I am hoping that it's like some of these arches are just phasing out more and more. I'm a big floral column girl. Slightly, you just get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. So I would love to kind of not see these typical arches with these really big feet. That's just from a personal standpoint. So I get it. They do come out really wide. Maybe there's an opportunity as an officiant to try to step and go behind. Again, we don't want you standing directly under anyways. So as much as you could stand forward, I think is great. And then that gives you all more room. Or I love your idea of hiding behind part of the wedding party. I think that's fantastic. So never shy away if you have something you want to say and weigh in. But this was perfect. Something to think about. Nothing is ever that easy. There's always two sides to it. So thank you again, Kristine, with Unity by Kristine. And now I would like to welcome my guest for this week, DJ Jess.
Hey.
Jess McKelvey. Thank you so much for joining the cookie table.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, I'm very grateful you're here. Intuitive and energetic vibe curator. That's what you are.
That's what I call myself, huh?
It's perfect.
Thank you.
I mean, I feel it. You know
feels
what I mean?
right. Yeah, I know the intuitive word sometimes gets overused, but I don't know what other word to use. An energetic. I did a little survey on 3 words to describe me if you've worked with me, and energy kept coming up, and I'm like, that I get it. So alas, the Insta bio lives.
It's perfect. I think it's perfect.
Thanks, Jade.
Your favorite, so you have 2 favorite cookies, Lady Locks or the Neapolitan ones?
Both of them. I'm a sucker for a cream-filled pastry. I am.
The Lady
So
Locks
you've got
are
them
good.
right there in front of us.
Yeah.
And they look delicious and big and messy, and I'm here for it.
They're the big ones. Yes. Thank you, Grandview Bakery. As always, they do. They go hard, do the big ones. Thank you for giving me 2 cookies. Because I said this to Rachel Rowland as well. I get very close to, like, do I try to make a cookie? Because no one ever has, like, a Neapolitan cookie, like, right at the glass.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I do is, like, I go and just, like, pick out the cookie.
Yeah.
But then when you guys give me these good cookies, I'm like, I would love
make
to
it.
do
You mean
something.
like bake it yourself?
I've thought about it.
Oh, I'm happy it was a thought. That's a lot, especially those.
Yeah. I
They're like layered.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know with what. I just know I love them.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't bring that one, but
okay.
I hope you like a Lady Lock.
Yeah.
And some local craft beer today. Switch it up with some beer, which I love. This is Morning Feels by Grist House. We're gonna pair it nice with our cookies through this conversation.
Feels. This makes so much sense. Should we taste it? Can
Yeah.
we taste it?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that okay?
Let's do it. I put it in the wine glass because
So
it's cute.
pretty.
You want to cheers?
Cute. I'm so happy I'm holding this glass.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
girl,
Cheers.
to you, and to this, and to this.
To you, my friend. To you, my friend.
Oh, that's good. You got to close your eyes.
That's nice, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Yeah. It's so good. It's okay. Listen, that's like, I always just start chugging my glass myself. So go for it.
It's delicious. It doesn't have like any kind of after flavor
so
that makes
good.
you go, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah.
It's like I want some more, and then I want to hang out and watch the CW for a while.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling with this.
What's your favorite show?
Oh, no.
You gonna tell me? You brought it up.
My favorite show? Gosh, it depends what time of day it is. When it's nighttime, I watch mindless like teenager TV, like One Tree Hill.
Oof. Yeah.
That's my favorite. But it just depends. Like I'm a Dateline 2020 person too. Like on Friday nights, that's my thing now.
Yeah.
So I stay a good girl and I stay in and clean my room and organize and watch Dateline. And then around 12 a.m., I think someone's breaking into my house.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
So crime, drama, anything that involves like little romance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big One Tree Hill girly.
Okay, cool. All right then. Are you Sophia or are you Hillary? Peyton or what was her name? Brooke. Do you have a preference?
I'm such a Sophia Bush fan. which
Okay,
would be
I mean, it's
Brooke.
hard not to be.
It's so hard not to
I'm
love her.
both.
I love them both.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I have to pick, I
Okay.
guess I'll
Team
pick.
Sophia.
Yeah, I have to. She's so good. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. Shamelessly plug being a DJ in Pittsburgh, DJ Jess. What got you into DJing?
So it was probably the band that I was part of when I was 8 years old called the IQ Party Patrol. No, I'm just kidding.
That was a great.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like I'm smart and I like to party, right? Like, why did I name my band that?
Yeah, that's adorable, actually.
It's always been a part of me, but truly what got me my start was in college. I went to Edinburgh, just requesting a lot of music to the DJ that was there at the time, and it was a female DJ. It was
Okay.
one of my sorority sisters.
Okay.
I was an ASA, Alpha Sigma Alpha. So it was her saying, oh, damn, girl, you know good music. You should be a DJ. And essentially, I credit the owner of that bar, the hotel bar, for hiring female DJs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because that allowed me the platform to step in and begin. So I had no no effing clue
Yeah.
that was going to be my career, but I knew that I got my own space to dance and I'd be in control of the music. So
I don't think we talked about this. I went to Edinburgh.
shut up.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
No wonder.
Yes,
What?
Scott.
So you know the hotel bar?
Yes.
That's where I used to DJ.
Yes, that's amazing.
What?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
I know. Such a great time. Edinburgh was very slept on. You could have a great time there.
You can have a good time in Edinburgh. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Stars
it holds
are
a
aligning.
large piece of my heart.
Same.
I found a lot of myself there. Yeah, there's a connection to that like small town in the
Yes.
country, the snow belt. Edinburgh is near Erie for anybody listening that doesn't know
Yes.
where it's at. So it's, towards Erie, 2.5 hours, and it is its own little town
Yeah.
of snow and fun and
Yep.
it was cozy.
Very cozy.
Yeah.
John's Pizza, Flip Cafe.
Oh, no, you didn't. John's Pizza.
Miss it. Randomly think about it all the time. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. So fun. So from there, then when did you like officially start marketing yourself and like doing the damn thing?
Good question. So it was in 2015 after I had my second son. I had to have 2 kids first before I went full time,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's what you do is you just make things busy. But I was struggling because I have a master's degree in teaching,
Okay.
which was not cheap, right? I got into teaching a little bit, substitute teaching, and it just never felt completely aligned with who I am. While it felt good, it wasn't aligned. So I would wake up every morning, I just want to go for, do my own thing, and DJing might be it. Because I started DJing after I had my first son. I signed up with a company who was on the Gateway Clipper
Okay.
cruises and started working for them. And that's when I was like, oh shit, this could be a career that really works for the kind of life that I want, with weekends off when I want to, weekdays off with my kids. So anyways, I kept waking up thinking, man, should I go for it? But what about this degree, and this time and money I invested? I went to see a women in business panel and spoke to a woman, Beth Caldwell, afterwards. I was like, hey girl, what do I do about this? Like, I don't know which direction to go. And she's like, honey, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 30. And she goes, go ahead. You have time. It could always come full circle. So 2015, went full time, started marketing myself, made a Facebook page, made a free website, and just said, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So how many years is this now?
So it's 10.
So you said 2015. So
I
it's
mean,
10. Yeah.
10 full time.
Yeah.
In total, like,
that's
like
that's
20
pretty
something,
good.
man. Yeah, I it's probably one of the pieces of my life that I'm the most proud of, for sure.
That's
that
amazing.
Fulfills me the most. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So sometimes as a Pittsburgh wedding vendor, I feel like there are times where it can feel like the market is saturated.
It is. It is. It's sloppy wet.
Yeah.
Sloppy wet.
It is a little saturated. So how do you stand out with all the other DJs? And to make it clear too, so there are DJ companies.
Yes, multi-ops.
You are you.
Solo op.
You're solo.
Yes.
Talk about those differences, the benefits of maybe booking with someone that is a solo operation.
Yeah. I mean, the benefits, it has to stem from something that the client needs, right? Because I think that they're both beneficial, multi-ops and solo ops, and it just depends on what kind of client you want to work with. So for me, I thrive on connection. That is the bedrock of my business through and through. So with it just being me, I get my hands in everything, right? So I mean, while some things are automated, I'm the one that's responding to you, I'm the one that's showing up. So it's this deep connection that exists as long as I keep that list small of how many weddings I'm doing a year or corporate events, right?
Yeah.
So the benefit is that, you're going to get a relationship with a human that is taking part in your big day, one of the biggest times of your lives. And so for couples that value that connection, that thus allows us to go even deeper into the music, I think that's where the benefit comes from.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that's not for everybody, and that's okay. Some couples are like, yo, I need to hire you, and I need you to come through, and I need you to pop this dance floor off.
Yeah.
Right? But me, I'm like, I want to hug your mom. Like, I want to know your dog. Like, I want to see you two, and I want to generally get those butterflies when I'm watching you take your vows. So it's connection based, dude. And the way I think that, to stand out is just leaning into who you are, your unique sales perspective, your unique sales value. We all have something that only we have. And while we're doing the same thing, if you can lean into what makes you, then you can uplift your brand. So it's a personality brand. right?
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I think we do this, you too, is because you can show up and be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to put a filter on, like maybe you would have to do in a cubicle,
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
And other brands or some brands choose to maybe polish themselves a little more is a common term. And I understand there should be some professionalism and polishness, but some of my couples are so authentic from the minute and from the beginning. Like, and it doesn't even like matter their budget. Like, you'll have some pretty high budget couples that are just like, from the consultation call, literally had a high noon in their hand because it's wedding planning. They're having a good time, and then they're just being themselves, not afraid to swear and talk. Like, so I'm just like, yes, I think this is why we're connecting. Like, I think this is because you're just being authentic in that 100%.
You be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you feel more power in the control of your day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, when somebody drops the F-bomb, I'm like, I like you.
I'm like, I like you.
Yeah. I usually do too. Like, it's a little test. I'm like, I don't, like, what the fuck do you want to do for your wedding? I'm like, don't worry. I won't swear on the mic. I promise you. I'll clean it up. But like, now it's us.
That's exactly how I am. I know. And it just continues to add why I love you so much too. So what exactly would you say sets you apart, not just from being a solo operation, but your brand itself?
Ooh, girl.
And how you DJ.
Right? So, gosh, let's start with how I DJ. God, what would that be? I don't know, man. I mean, I like creating remixes and taking songs that we know and then putting them together. I like kind of digging into the couple's favorite TV shows, movies. Maybe it's a moment from college and seeing how I can drop that in. Like, I had a bride who loved Schitt's Creek. And so I went on a hunt for like clips from Schitt's Creek that were popular. I wasn't very aware of, what scenes would translate well, what sayings. But from research, there was this one clip that was talking about walking it out. And I'm like, yo, let me grab that, turn it to a drop, and then go into DJ Unk's Walk It Out, right? Like shit like that,
fun, yeah.
Just how can we really personalize this based on your entire vibe of media and life experiences. So it's digging into that and then trying to play the music that you really don't hear. Like, let's say they like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out there and this hasn't happened. Let's say they like Avenged Sevenfold, and that's not going to translate at a wedding the whole time. So then you go on these musical hunts to say artists like Avenged Sevenfold, what can show up that's more mainstream and taking those chances. So I think that's how I differ as a DJ. As a brand, I mean, magic. I couldn't not. It was so scary, too.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
The first time we worked together, well, the only time still we've worked together, which I hate, is
it's
the only time it's coming
There's
up.
another one. Yeah.
Which I can't wait. But the first time that we were in Blue Moon Rising.
Blue Moon Rising in Deep Creek.
Which is such a cool space.
I love that venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very forest vibes, like, very cool.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, you gave me a tarot card. And I meant to go find it because I kept it. And of course, mom brain, like, it's hitting me right now that I never went and got it.
So good. Was it a heart-shaped one or was it a white one?
I think there was a heart on it.
Okay.
There was a heart on it. I think it was something about slowing down in nature or something. I think it was. But it was really sweet, and I thought it was special. Is that a common thing that you do?
I just started bringing a deck of cards that I specifically picked, which are like more affirmations because they're a little lighter that way, I started bringing them with me to weddings in case I felt like I wanted to give it to a guest or to a vendor. That was about 1.5 years ago. It just felt right. So, and Tarot is more, so it's actually Oracle or affirmation. Tarot is the ones you see with like 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands or whatever. And it's always the same. Not the same illustration. Many artists can cover it, but they need to keep that same, like, this is the 6 of Pentacles, right? And they mean the same thing. With Oracle, it's like the lighthearted cousin of tarot. Anybody can create a deck, essentially. And I brought some with me today. Like, for example, I'm going to pull for you at some point. A hip hop queens deck that I have.
Oh,
I mean,
so fun.
I couldn't be a DJ that pulls cards if I didn't fucking buy this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing with oracles. It could be however many, but they can give it themes.
Okay.
And, I try to stay away from novelty because I feel like it takes the magic away, but these hit Every time, girl. So I have those. And then I have, these are the ones, I couldn't find my other ones. I think I left them in Vegas. I'm so mad about it when I was like pulling for DJs at this performance we did. But I also have the Heart and Soul cards, which are a little deeper.
Okay.
But I feel appropriate sometimes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if this was the one. These are from Salem. These are dope. But I didn't know if the one I gave you was a heart shape.
No, it was
you got one of my other ones, which I love too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like I want to spread light, man.
I love it.
You know, and it just feels right. And I'm so grateful that the community has embraced it and like allows me to do it without feeling too weird.
Yeah.
Because it's a vulnerability thing, man.
It is.
You know?
Yeah. I'm really into that stuff. I've been to Salem too, and I just my picnic partner Brittany and I with Brie and Baskets, we did a Witches Night Out event, and
I saw.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love that.
It's a vibe for sure. So leaning into the cards. Okay, do you feel comfortable pulling one now?
Let's go.
You want to do it?
Let's go. Yeah, let's see what comes up. So the first thing I gotta have you do is to shuffle them to get your energy on them, which you might remember.
Okay. Yes, I do remember.
I'm so excited. And you could definitely do this for yourself too. You know what I mean? Like you have it, dude.
Okay.
And then I'll just like I shake my hands because I have to get like the energy. Okay. And breathing. Did you know that breathing in for like 5 seconds, but then breathing all of the air out, it tells your vagus nerve that it's okay to relax.
Okay.
Yeah, getting all the air out of your body, it just like says, hey, but you can calm down. You got to get it all out though.
All of it.
All the air out. And then it says, hey, girl, I hear you.
Yeah.
You can relax now. I just learned that. I knew breath work was powerful, but I didn't realize, like.
That's good, because when my toddler starts screaming, I need that.
Oh,
you know?
shit. Right?
It hurts. Okay.
Here we go. So now I take them, and it's kind of like you think like the energy like draws up the card, right? Like whatever's meant to pop up is going to pop up.
Okay.
And it has to, like that. Do you see how that pops up? That's you, dude. Gangsta boo. Confidence. This is confidence. Oh my God. See? Gangsta boo. So then so these are all queens of rap and, you know, maybe VJ, DJ, just pioneers in the movement. So it goes anywhere from Gangsta Boo, who, you know, we may not know, to like Lizzo, right?
Okay, yeah.
So then you have the book that you have to reference that breaks it down. I think it's in alphabetical order. Like Aaliyah's in here, Gina Aoki, Lady Luck, who I don't know who that is. But it always makes sense. Okay, so there's a whole thing which we can read, but like basically what we need to do is focus on the last paragraph is like what I do when I'm, you know, not trying to get all into it. But Gangsta Boo's card reflects a need to give yourself a pep talk. Sometimes we sleep on ourselves, but let this serve as your official wake-up call. It happens. We're thrown off course and struggle to get back on track. By the time you're ready to do it, you start second-guessing yourself. The anxiety sets in, a vicious cycle. You can only break it. Only you can break it. Take a page from the blueprint and say, it's time to try something new. If you believe you can do it, you will, plain and simple. So I don't know what you're second guessing right now, or if like you feel like that's a constant in your life, but you need to fucking stop that shit.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah. And you're the only one.
Yeah.
All the advice in the world is not going to help change it. Like it's just, it's you, dude.
Wow.
I'll send you a picture of that too.
Yeah.
So just confidence, because you have it. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Is it?
Yeah, because I have been second guessing some things.
Which is normal, but I feel like it's a little bit too chronic for you. Yeah, you know? Like it's interrupting more than it should.
Yeah.
It's such a normal thing to do when you're a creative entrepreneur, but
it's hard. And I just think too, I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast several times about just truly being a parent, you know, and being an entrepreneur is such a weird, tough thing. And it's just a very, very weird, tough thing. Because your business means so much to you. Yes. And I think it takes a special person to run your own business and be an entrepreneur. Like, if everyone could do it, everybody would. Like, truly. So when you do that and you then have something that means more to you than anything after birthing a child, but then you're just like, wait a second though, like I can't lose what I've been doing with my business and the time, the momentum is the biggest thing. It's really hard, but
to pull back and slow down the wheel.
Yeah.
And then you just like try to like turn it again.
Yeah.
You know, marketing wheel especially. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we should just talk about. So I left things at the end of the last podcast with Rachel Rowland. I told her, I was trying to plan some things. I was like, oh, I won't mention it yet. I had the idea at the end of last year to plan a vendor event, and I started to do it, and the venue lost their venue coordinator, and like low key rug pulled me, but not fully. So the owners of the venue were basically, or like whoever is like the higher management was like, we need to put a pause on this. And I was like, but I want to do this in a couple of months before the season pops off. Right. Like I can't, it's like I need to know.
It's a timely goal.
Yeah.
Time sensitive goal.
And recently I've been thinking, do I just give up on planning it? But I felt so drawn to plan it because reflecting on 2024, I feel like there are a lot of vendor events which are great, but it can get a little discouraging, I think, sometimes, because some of them are like, a lot of them are invite only. So it's like, if you don't get the email or you see people are there, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like
FOMO.
Yeah. There's some FOMO, or why wasn't I invited?
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to put something out there, but make it very open to everybody.
You're filling a space that you think needs filled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
People to feel comfortable. And I feel like they can get, if I've never met you before, like, I want you to come. If you feel like you haven't felt comfortable to go to an event, like, this is the one.
I've been there before where I've seen things happen. I'm like, damn it, I want to be there. And I'm like, it's all right. Let them, let them do their thing, because two things can exist. They can still respect you and still maybe not have thought to invite you.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I think it's unintentional when they don't invite you.
Oh my God. Right? It's
They're
all
just
point of
inviting
reference.
who they know.
It's all point of reference. Exactly.
So that was part of my thing. So that is just that is very strange to get that. Yeah. Because I have been like, well, maybe this isn't worth it.
I don't think you need to give up on it. I just think the timing wasn't right. Yeah. And that's okay. Because obviously that space needed to be filled with something else, and it would have been a little too stressful for you to do it. Yeah. In my opinion on it. But you got to still do it, man. Yeah. Anything that's a brain baby of yours, you got to see it through. It's just like, when is this going to exactly happen?
Well, that is so fun for you to do that with me. So thank you. That is working out and making me reflect a lot. So thank you. So in addition to the tarot cards, you do love readings for your couples. Love readings. So let's talk about those. Yeah. Because those are super fun.
I brought some of like what my couples get.
Yes. Yeah, let's just see it. Let's see it.
So this is one I need to send them out, because I do them and then I forget to give them to them at their wedding, because that's just like a bad habit I have. It's like my fatal flaw. So I have these little glass votives, and I'm into herbs. I've just always been into herbs, man. So inside this is like, there's some rose petals that I've got from my garden. There's something called Jezebel root, which my middle name is Adele. I'm like, I need this Jezebel. Like, I know she was like a slut, and like Jezebel's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like trying to identify with that, but, some lavender and some juniper berries and just some herbs that I've understood like are connect to love and just what I feel is right. And then at the bottom, some crystals too, always a rose quartz. And then there's these long taper candles that I use that are very thin. So I'll get this bottle ready. I'll put their initials on the jar, and then I put the candle in. I kind of split it in half because it's long. Yeah. It's for 2 flames. And then I burn that. And I sit down and I meditate to clear my head, take some breaths, try to get my own thoughts out, because I don't want that to show up. And it does. Yeah. And that happens. Yeah. And then I look at pictures of them, and I pull out my laptop, I put on a Spotify playlist, whatever feels right. And I get on their Instagram usually, and I just scroll, and I don't think, and I try not to pick up, like, I see them at, with a loved one pass. I try not to read the captions to kind of give me that information. I just want to see what comes through, dude. Yeah. And I type it out. I just type it out 15, 20 minutes, get these thoughts out of my head in hopes that it will reduce stress with what they're dealing with, or maybe an issue. Yeah. Remind them of their connection. Like I pick up on things like, I feel like Eric really loves your smile, Ben, or like it's your eyes that draw them in. And that's body language reading too. And then like date night ideas, maybe things they've been thinking about, like cabin came up one time. I'm like, y'all need to move on that cabin. I don't know what it means. And it turns out they wanted to retire in one. Wow. The mall came up one time. I was like, I feel like the mall is your jam. Y'all need to spend time there. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we actually love the mall. I was like, all right, cool. You need to do more of that. Like when life feels busy, like go to the mall together. Yeah. So things like that. And it's so beautiful just to see the couple's reactions. Usually it's over Zoom, sometimes in public, but it's kind of in public. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to tell you this, you know, like, and like I've noticed a difference with the wall that's put up when we're in public versus Zoom at their homes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to encourage more of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to just deliver
So
a PDF.
Cool. That's so cool.
Because I was scared to get on the call with them, and I'm like, oh, this is so.
I love that you're doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that you're doing that. And our couple that we have together,
Ashley and Joe, right? Oh my God, their love reading was so good.
they were so excited, and I'm so glad. Like, because I just always try to feel this out. Again, we talked about this the last podcast. Like, your planner is going to recommend people because they can feel and like know things.
Yeah,
and get,
yeah.
like, you know, like your vibe, like who's gonna vibe with you the most, like your vendor. And when I asked them, I was like, okay, like looking for a DJ, like what's your vibe? And I was like, I have the perfect person for you.
Oh, thank you.
If she's available. And thank God you were. And they were like, Jade, oh my God, you like their response was, you're the best planner ever. We are so excited that she is our DJ. Like, she's literally the best. Yeah, it
Good
was
on
just
you for recognizing that.
Gosh,
You know what
thank
I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because that would have
appreciate
never came through without you. You know, and that's so important.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just you could just kind of feel and people, and that's
That's why being yourself is such a powerful tool, because then it leads to knowing how to recommend vendors that you like working with, you know?
Yes, it's huge. It's huge. But I'm so excited for that, and I'm glad it worked out and everyone's happy with that.
Me
for sure.
too, girl.
And speaking of our couples and our clients, you know, they're there to grow and evolve with us. And kind of as we go into that, I want to talk about your deck got fried. Let's talk about it. What happened?
Oh my God.
And at what point of the day did this happen?
It was like 8:30 prime dancing time. Prime freaking dancing. And you probably saw my stories. Long story short, it was my coffee. People been in my DMs like, I didn't put that out there. I mean, I will tell you.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
it was my freaking coffee, man. I was like, I need to rage. I'm gonna go get a coffee. You know, like it's hype, and I got an hour and a half left, so I got the coffee and I set it down on my DJ table. There's like not much room, and I'm in the art room. I'm right there on the dance floor, dude. Like, and then I moved my purse over in my shelving unit to set my coffee there. Came back up, got distracted by transitioning to a slow song, about to leave and go take a break, and look down, like the music just stops. I look down, there's puddles of coffee. And at first I'm like, this is really happening. Processing that this is an emergency and I need to react.
Wow.
And I knew that I had my backup deck. I always bring 2 DJ decks because you never know, So anybody out there that's DJ and listening, like, you need to always have a backup plan. Even if it's not the perfect backup plan, you have to have something like that, right? And since I rely heavily on my mixing styles, I have to have a deck. I'm not just going to put on a playlist or push play on a program. So I got the deck, and then I was like, first thing I thought of was putting my phone into the speaker, but I didn't have the white dongle that fits. And thank God I have something called an Everse. It is a battery powered speaker that's not just like a Bluetooth that you bring over your friend's house. Like, it's legit good for ceremonies with no power. Cocktail hours where it's like, I'm going to throw a speaker up there, but there's no power. So I was like, boom, get that. I had the couples playlist on my phone and just like tapped into that and just had to just change shit out. Like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Craziest thing in my career, dude. Like, no joke. Way to kick it off. I felt so bad.
Yeah. Thank God you had a backup plan. And that is a quality experience wedding vendor.
Thank you.
Because let's be honest, an $800 DJ isn't going to have that.
No.
and things happen.
I haven't always been prepared like this. I wasn't charging what I'm charging now, had I not been prepared. So, I mean, while I felt like complete crap that even happened in the first place, and I got the feedback, the way you responded was perfect, and we thought you were a superhero, and we would have been dying inside. So the art room was very kind about that. That made it easier to deal with. But holy crap, man. That was my baby. It was my first deck, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say then 10 years, huh? The art room's great. Shout out for sure, the art room. So, but your couple though, they took it. They were like, things happen.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's like, after making all of those stories on my Instagram and talking about what had happened, I got a little nervous. I was like, I don't want to overshadow the magic of their day or like take away with like something that went wrong. Like, because I'd only shared a couple videos, I wasn't really there to get content after that. I was like in the zone trying to get the flow back. Right. So I didn't have my phone out trying to like stop the shakes, man. And I was like, crap, did I overshadow the magic of their day? And I was like, no, it's cool, girl. Like, you can feel that in your heart. But then I was like, oh damn, like they were good with it. It added a layer to their wedding that is like
A story, yeah.
spicy, right? Like it added spice to their wedding, and it worked out, so it's okay. But then I was like, damn, I don't think wedding vendors realize how deep of the connection is with our clients, that we are growing together.
Yep.
Because we're working live events where things go wrong. Each time you do a wedding, you are growing, right?
Yes, 100%.
And they're
Year after year, no matter how many years.
no matter, right? Because I've been in it for so long, and look where I'm at. But I still, so they were a part of my growth. This is what you do, Jess, when coffee gets dumped on your deck, to the point of like I could get a nice caffeine buzz if I would have drank it out of my deck. Like it was bad, dude. Like it was dripping out. I didn't realize. I turned it over when I was walking, and it was like. Sorry, art room. Oh man, it was a whole fucking coffee.
You probably just got it too.
I did, and it was so
Even
hot.
worse.
It was so hot, and the girl's like, "I'm scared it's gonna catch on fire, Jess." And I was like, "My coffee was new," and then I'm like, "No, she's right. Like this is like about to, engulf in flames because of the electrical shit."
Oh my god.
So, anyways, that allowed me to see the power and the presence that our clients have with us, and in the place that they have with our growth. And it made me feel very grateful to all of the couples that have hired me and allowed me to grow with them with such grace, right?
That's amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we give them enough credit for that,
We
man.
don't.
Like they're a part of our story, right?
And that's the thing. And again, we talk about this frequently on here, but we all have to start somewhere. And yes, we'll make the joke about the $800 DJ isn't going to have that, because it is true. But also, yes, we wouldn't be here without our first few years in business and people taking a chance on us, and accepting that, and then continuously growing
and working with the clients who have a budget, which is completely fine. Like
100%.
you know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, you truly see, because I say that to the girls that work for me too, like my lead planners. This is season 7 for us, and there are still, I'm sure, so many things I want to see that I've never seen before.
Oh yeah,
it happens all the time. Like that's a new one for me. Like I have said that to like my assistants, and they'll laugh like on a wedding day. I'm like, yeah, this is a new issue. But still, I have never seen this. Like it happens. So that was new for you. You had a backup plan.
Process of elimination is what it goes down to, right?
Yeah.
Process of elimination is the wedding vendor. Let's eliminate this, then this, then this, and let's get to this. Yeah, exactly. So,
well, I'm proud of you for taking that with such grace and having a plan.
Thanks,
because that was crazy. You mentioned earlier that you have a master's degree in teaching.
I do.
So does that have anything to do with your drive to want to be a part of and plan the Pittsburgh DJ Summit? So this is year two of this? Okay. Talk about that inspiration.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I've always known that I like sharing education, and that showed up more strongly. That showed up stronger.
Strongly. It's the same. Yeah,
I'm on a microphone all the time. I should know how to speak. And that showed up more strong. That showed up a lot more vivid. We go. It showed up more vividly. Ooh, there we go.
That's a good word.
As I became more comfortable and knowledgeable in my skill, right? But I never had planning a conference on my radar. I knew that I wanted to do like retreats, possibly with the female DJ community to try to close that gender gap.
Yeah.
But I never thought I would produce a full-blown conference until my buddy came to me and was like, yo, Jess, like I really want to do this in Pittsburgh. I talked to a guy named Aaron Thomas out of Athens, Ohio, and he's on board. Do you want to do this? And I was there for it, but if I'm going to put my name on something, I need to have a little control.
For sure.
And while Bill is one of my most beautiful friends, I was just like, I don't know if we're aligned, fully enough where I can be like, no, we're doing it this way, and like, should I even say it that way?
Right.
So quietly, I helped last year. Not super quiet, but I just kind of kept it low key and didn't really pour my heart into it. But then I saw how it went, and we got back together to do it again for this year. And it is honestly one of the pieces of my career that I'm most proud of.
You should be.
Thank you.
You should be.
Yeah. Just a passion for professional development. And connection.
How's the feedback been from other DJs?
From other DJs. We have a survey out right now, and it's varied. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good, but you can kind of see the moving parts that need rethought out a little bit, which is understandable.
It's part of growing,
Yes. And I appreciate the honesty. So feedback has been better than I expected.
Yeah, good.
I mean, thank you. I really didn't have an expectation. It was like when I was doing it, when I was there in the conference, it was like I'd always been there. It was weird, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just, it was natural. So I'm excited to keep going. I want to make sure it keeps growing, but we keep based in the fact that we want everybody to feel seen. So you're not lost in a sea of DJs at a conference with, education in front of you. And like, I want everyone to feel seen and heard, and just that good vibe, that collective energy that transcends when you get so many like-minded people in the room.
I saw you opened up the professional panel this year.
I did.
To outside people for anyone that wanted to see it.
Oh, yes.
Right? Did people, like other people besides DJs come?
They did. There was like
there's
20 people there.
There was buzz around it because it's exciting. You see big, people in our community. It's like, I'd love to hear what that person has to say. I mean, you had a fantastic panel. Tell me about that. How'd the panel go? Because you moderated it.
Yeah, the panel went well. It was... Everybody that said yes is just amazing.
Yeah.
Their brains are just a miraculous masterpiece. And I was so thankful that I didn't think everyone would say yes. I was like, I made my list and I'm like, all right, like if some aren't there, it's like I have enough.
Yeah.
Everyone said yes. And I'm like, oh shit, like how am I going to do this? Right. So it went well. We had some great conversations. How I want to redo it next year is to have DJs maybe submit questions ahead of time. I got a little lost in the moment of time.
Yeah.
Because if you're keeping time, but you're also trying to be present, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So I had asked someone to do time, but I didn't clarify like kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
So I was half there. A migraine dropped in right when I got on stage. I'm like, go away, bitch. But it was there. So that clouded me a little bit. All in all, I'd give myself like an 7.9 or an 8.2. How I did. I won a 10. I won a 10.
Sure you're a 10.
The vendors did incredible. Thank you.
Good.
They did amazing.
What was your biggest takeaway from that conversation? Like, did you even step back and be like, man, I learned something even after 10 years? Is there a piece of that you're like, that was so good? Or where did you get the biggest feedback of like, that was really such a pivotal moment in this conversation? That's kind of putting you on the spot to think back to that.
No, I already know my answer. I don't think there was anything like that I specifically learned, because it always comes down to communication. Was the big thing again.
No, and that's what it was last year.
And being yourself and communication. So it was the same thing pretty much. But watching the interactions of the Q&A asked from the crowd to the vendors, I saw a disconnect that still needs nurtured. Yeah. So I think more of these need to happen. It's like we have our guard up and we're like ready to fight.
Yes.
For our own role.
Yes.
In the industry, when there's no need for that.
I love that you said that.
Yeah. It just, there was like an inversion that needed to be like a bzz, like a buzzing, like electric wall that needed to be turned down.
I love that you said that. Last year, when you asked me to be on the panel, that was so much fun.
So good, dude.
It meant so much to me.
Hey.
But that was the biggest takeaway, was communication. And then, some of like the questions were challenging, even like when you open it up to the audience and it's like, they're ready to fight. Yeah. So then you're put in fight or flight mode. Woo! When you're asked a question. You're like, "What the fuck, you bitch?"
Yeah. There was some of that.
Yeah. It's like, I just want us all to be team players, and I think, like we talked about then, and I'm sure you did this year, there can be this ego with a lot of DJs. Or a lot of DJs think that their way is the only way or the highway. So, that kind of goes into what makes a good DJ and what makes potentially a bad DJ. From a music standpoint, but also from like a coordination standpoint.
Yeah.
What would you say? Because when I was on the panel, we all gleamed about DJ Jess, obviously.
I know. That was sweet. Thank you. I told them ahead of time this year. I was like, if there's a DJ you love, I was like, watch how much you name drop. Because like, I don't want to like trigger anybody. I'm so thankful for that.
True. But it's true though, because you were a prime example as to why this doesn't have to be a difficult thing. It could all be, we're all team players. This is supposed to be fun. Like, we don't have coworkers in a sense.
I know, right?
Right.
Which kills me sometimes, but now we do.
So you go to a wedding and you see your squad for the day, see squad, and having vendors that get along is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Too. But what would you say makes a DJ maybe not be as great? Or why does
the ego exist?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
So I don't think it exists for everybody, obviously. We know that. We know that. I believe that DJing is a field and a activity that allows you to get immediate gratification. It is a quick dopamine hit. When you're performing and you're watching your results immediately. It's not like planting a seed and then the flower starts to grow. Or going to the gym and losing weight and then in 3 months your dopamine gets hit, right? It's an immediate gratification, and that is why a lot of us do it. It's because we need that.
Yeah.
And while, you know, there's a lot of us that like to be on stage and we like that, you know, for the benefit of others, I believe there's a certain sector that maybe struggle with, I mean, we all struggle with confidence. It's just how it is. That struggle with that to a point of relying on that immediate gratification to fill a space that could be better adequately served with another method. And the way that shows up is an ego to protect themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
That and they've created this ego over so many years to protect themselves that this is now how it's manifesting in the event industry. That's what I think. It's the people that, you know, we've all had our things, but it's the people that really got it maybe, you know, or didn't have those experiences in their life to develop their emotional intelligence to understand. And maybe empathy is lacking too. So it's a disconnect from humans and empathy. And, you know, a strong sense of self. So that DJ becomes their ego and therefore it's very fragile. And, you know, if anybody resonates with this that's listening and wants to dig into it, I'm here for you. We're not judging. We're just saying a perspective from my point of reference and my experience. Yeah.
Because as a planner, there are a lot of DJs, truly. That was my hardest category over the years to feel comfortable recommending.
Yeah.
It took me multiple years. And I had the hardest time with it because it was just hard because I dealt with too many DJs that were really rude or mean or didn't care what I had to say.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I don't, and it happens.
I have to understand.
And
different.
It happens all the time. So, it took me a really long time to feel comfortable recommending people. And the ones that I do recommend are the team players and the ones that don't think that it's, again, their way or the highway. That I like literally there are people that in this industry that I would love to never see again. Like truly.
God, I would love to know.
Truly.
You know I'm gonna
I
ask
will
you.
happily tell you.
I'm gonna freaking ask you.
Because it is just, it's very frustrating. And I kind of want to end with this. I had like a full scale, slightly partial scale client that booked 2 things before they hired me. They knew they were getting married at their house. So it was very easy. They had beautiful land. They had their DJ booked and their cake booked and they were getting married at their house and that was it. When I saw the DJ that they booked, I was very disappointed because it was something, if they would have hired me before the DJ, I would have never recommended this person. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. This person so I'm out with my husband. We're going to a Pirates game with friends. I have a babysitter. Okay?
Let's go.
That's very hard to get and come across.
Right?
If you're a parent, you understand that.
Yes.
I'm walking and I see him calling me. I see this person calling me. And I'm like, oh my God.
You're okay. You just hit 90% of the market. You're fine, dude.
It's
Like,
fine,
not,
right?
you can say hey for them.
I look at my husband. I'm like, fuck. I have no idea why this dude's calling me. This is after the wedding. After the wedding. A month after the wedding.
Okay.
Calls me. I pick up. I say, hey, I'm a little busy. I'm with friends, like whatever. But is everything okay? Hey, so-and-so left a really bad review for us on Zola. We don't even use Zola, but left a really awful review. It ended up being a 30
on Zola. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a 30-minute conversation about the experience, and from my point of view, I was honest, and I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He had a drink in his hand starting at 5:00. You're DJ.
Dude.
Had a drink in his hand at 5:00.
Not that early.
I had
If
to,
at all.
right? I had to remind him of what was next in the timeline. I babysat him. My favorite DJs, I don't want to babysit you. I am not that planner. I want to give it to you and say, baby, do your thing and have a great time. And I can trust that you're doing it. You're doing it. I had to keep telling this person what was next, what to, like literally, hey, can you introduce them coming up next? Remember, they're coming into here. They're not doing it here. And then I had to run back to the stand because they were still incorrect.
Dude.
like as he was saying it.
That's tragic.
Like literally so painful. And then this guy has the audacity to call me about a bad review and ask me to ask the couple to remove it.
No.
I never did.
No.
And there's more to that story about like, oh, she's claiming this and she's claiming that. And yes, they were definitely drinking, the couple.
Yeah.
But I just want to end kind of on your thoughts on that. And is that is that appropriate to call the planner to remove an review?
No, it's not appropriate. But everybody's brains work differently, and we were not all schooled to be business owners.
Yeah.
You know, a business of people, essentially. So dude didn't think about it and just followed his gut reaction. And that's the thing, is when anybody can do this, not saying doing it well, but you invite in a lot of different types of humans that are going to cross boundaries that are professional boundaries you should not cross.
Yeah.
And I hope that person learned something for the sake of their own livelihood.
Me too.
And couples.
Too. And that's why it's just like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I urge couples to, you know, get a planner and truly ask for real recommendations, because they're going to be the most authentic person, I think, in those recommendations.
Exactly.
Because, you know, as a couple on their wedding day, like music is subjective. So there are people that want certain things from their DJ. They want a really simple whatever, but it truly was the scariest category for me to find people to feel comfortable to recommend. And that is for a reason, because there are so many DJs out there that are just not good. Yeah. Or I have to babysit, or nobody's dancing.
I'd like to get rid of them for you. I apologize.
Yeah. And that is why DJ Jess is happily on my highly recommended list.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the cookie table.
So fun. I'm mad it's over. Let's go.
I know.
Round two. See y'all next time.
Hope to see you soon.
Bye.